Typically, when we hear about a true crime story, it's just that, a story. But when it happens in your state, less than 100 miles away, it hits a little different.
Facebook post led Marion County deputies to a man they say killed his ex-girlfriend and her new boyfriend. At 4, we told you that deputies announced that suspect took his own life. Shown as Mert Price, live in Marion County tonight. New for 5, Mert, you learned the victim previously reported the suspect sexually making threats against her.
Yeah, the victim who was shot and killed at the scene behind me earlier today told investigators at the time that the suspect threatened and then attacked her. But in the end, investigators say she refused to press charges.
On Wednesday, March 14th, 2018, a case of a broken heart ended in a double murder and a suicide. Gregory John Briseno, known by his friends simply as Goyo, was 29 years old when he was, quote, pushed to a limit he never thought he'd be pushed to. In the early morning, at 1:32 a.m. on that same Wednesday, Gregory posted his final thoughts on his Facebook page. That message, while alarming to his friends and family who read it, no one could have imagined what that message actually meant.
I was pushed to a limit I never thought I'd be pushed to. I was shown true evil in the past 6 months. My body, heart, and mind have been affected to no repair. I will take the title of the bad guy. Nobody needs to know the true betrayal and trespass done unto me. She will keep her name intact whether it be good or bad. Any other party affected in the moment will only be that of collateral damage. Just know it had to be done. If you are the few who know part of the truth, then I know you still won't understand why. But just know that I am sorry and had to finish it all once and for all. To my brothers, I am sorry for being weak and not letting go. Be better men than me. My nieces, don't fear my loss, for I am now at peace. My family, I know I let you down, and again, don't expect any of you to understand. But this is how it is. I love all of you, but the situation has become irreversibly inevitable. Though the world has been taken and turned upside down, judgment has been passed and just punishment has been dealt.
Who was Gregory Briseno, and what caused him to be pushed to the edge like this? I was able to speak with a close friend of Gregory, and she had this to say about what type of man he was prior to this whole incident. Quote, he was just one of those guys. He was a bigger guy and people treated him kinda crappy. He was used a lot, made fun of, but he was always there if anyone needed anything. He tried to save me from a bad relationship I was in so many times and I didn't listen. He was like family to me. He messaged me a few months prior to the incident when I was dealing with something, saying if I ever needed anything to call him, end quote. That cryptic Facebook post was published at 1:32 a.m., just hours prior to the terrible incident. But that post wasn't the first sign something was wrong. In fact, Gregory had posted quite a few statuses on his Facebook in the days prior.
Scratch that. It's time to piss some people off. I want each and every one of you to listen. I am not coming for you in the physical sense, but believe I'm coming. Your money, your assets, everything keeping you comfortable, I'm taking it. Last time I let a bitch lie to me, I was pissed, but I walked away. Now it happens again? Now it's time to see the bad guy. She once told me I'm a monster. Now I unleash it on the world. Are you ready? When you see me and you look me in the eye and say what you gotta say, then you have the right to speak. Otherwise, little mouse, keep squeaking and run to your hole.
Then, one day prior to the sinister post and event, he posted this.
Oh yes, elevated. Hella chilled out now. Not a care in the world. Tomorrow, I take it over.
Shortly after his final Facebook update, he would drive to the apartment of his 26-year-old ex-girlfriend, Alexis Marie Waronka, in Silver Spring Shores, Florida. Alexis was now in a new relationship with a 30-year-old man named Ryan Anthony Young. He was staying over that night at Alexis's apartment. A 911 call was made by Alexis's roommate at 4:59 a.m. The call was immediately hung up for some reason. but the police responded to the residence anyway. When they got to the apartment, they found both Alexis and Ryan dead from gunshot wounds. Quote, because he had made some volatile statements to her in the past, we developed him as a suspect. We found a Facebook post that was quite suspicious this morning on his Facebook page, end quote. Marion County Sheriff's Office Public Information Officer Lauren Leterrier said, quote, between the two, there was actually a conflict that we got involved in February, end quote, said Leterrier. Quote, she had reported that he had made some threats of violence against her, and she said he had grabbed her throat, end quote. Alexis chose not to pursue charges against Gregory after that incident. After committing the heinous act at Alexis's apartment, Gregory drove about 10 miles and parked his red Honda Civic near a bush outside the Shores Auto Body Shop. David Ryan, who owns the business, told the Star-Banner that when he had opened the gates at 8 a.m. Wednesday, the Honda was parked in the bush and the front had a significant dent. He said he thought the driver had too much to drink, thinking it was strange that someone would leave a vehicle in the bush. Ryan walked over to the vehicle, looking through the passenger window. He saw a male slumped over and he thought he was sleeping, end quote. A few hours went by and the vehicle was still in the bush. An employee from the body shop told the Star-Banner that he looked inside the car and, like his boss had, saw a male body behind the wheel, but he also saw there was a gun in the man's hand and he had suffered a head wound. Police arrived and found Gregory Briseno with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Quote, Briseno is a coward. He has to answer to someone higher than me, Waronka's father, Troy, said, according to WFTV. He added that as a parent, we have to find out what our children are doing at all times, even as grown-ups, end quote. We will never know exactly why Gregory Briseno did what he did. We can only speculate. Most likely it was due to the aforementioned broken heart and unhealthy possessiveness over his ex-girlfriend, Alexis.